Wait until you get hired.
Yes, welcome back everyone to another episode of Together We Roll, episode 15, part 2.
15?
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay, so quick thing, if you were paying attention on part 1 of 15, I said 2 years and 3 months involving your backstory, Devlers, but we misunderstood and I misunderstood what you were trying to convey on your backstory, and that was my fault, which is why I have various meetings with a lot of people about their backstories. But we didn't get to you yet because there's a whole slew of paperwork that I've been going through.
Yeah.
So it's about 8 months you have been away from your home. Just to convey that and just to put a band-aid on when I say it. But it doesn't change the story much on terms of timing of what we were doing and everything. Yeah, it's fine. For the most part. Okay. Apart from that, welcome back. I know the part 1 was a little long, but again, there was 3 different stories, 3 different branches.
1 hour per story.
It was an hour per story. Yeah.
You did an amazing job. Yeah. Let's talk about throwing the DM under the bus by spraying.
After a 4-week hiatus as well. It was like
brilliant job.
All right,
let's go. So we're gonna go a bit of. It's like,
you only had to deal with 2 players at a time. That was easy on you.
Yeah.
Should we do another? Part 1. I'm not going to go through the whole thing again because I want to keep on a little time so that we can do more roleplay. But part 1, we were talking about. Shoot, I know his real name. I almost said it. It's Sawdust.
Woodcrafting. Sawdust Woodcrafting.
Sawdust Woodcrafting. Thank you. He does some amazing shit. He has made our blast templates and made those boxes that they put into it. They are extremely compact and very well made. And you get additional extra ones that are, like the 35 feet diameter and the 45 feet. No, not 45. You get the 25, 35, 15. The ones that sometimes you don't use all the time, and you can use it for various different spells or situations. They're awesome, and they all compact because
all the square ones are in there.
Yeah, they're all the squares, all the cones, and all the circles as well. They all compact. They're awesome. Go check it out along with his other D&D stuff because he makes some good stuff. He designs it, and we talk to about him about all sorts of stuff on what could be used for various different situations. So check him out. He's awesome. Check out Etsy and his webpage.
And lastly, check us out. Yes, you are. Thank you for watching us. But no, please. What I mean is if you're not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. We've got a lot of watchers who are actually not subscribed, and show us your support.
It helps us a lot. It helps us grow, and it helps to branch out to other people that could also join in on the 35. Yep. So please like and subscribe,
and go out to our Facebook and our Twitter. Or whatever.
We got nothing on Twitter right now.
We got a few on Twitter, but we have the line shares on Facebook. But that's where we send a lot of our content that is not on YouTube, but we're advertising what's coming out and sending other communications. So join there, follow there as well, so you can keep up to speed.
All right.
Thanks again. And if you're already a follower or a subscriber or all the above, we love you. Thanks.
I did the heart wrong. There we go. There we go. Well, there's various different methods and stuff like that.
It's a better one, in my opinion.
That's a better one?
Solid.
Yeah, that one's pretty solid. But
with
my wrist, I can't.
It's more anatomically correct.
That's true.
That's pretty good.
That is true.
All right.
Segue.
Oh, and Corinne Milne, you're awesome. Thank you for the art.
Oh, she's working on other stuff.
We're not supposed to say that. Bleep it out.
I didn't even know that.
Wait.
And I live here.
That's because you're not on Facebook.
We don't have it. We don't have it yet.
We kept it under wraps.
We just know she's working on stuff. It'll be a while, I'm sure, before we see it.
Okay.
But
all right, let's move on.
Segue.
Moving on back to the story, and without further ado, let's get back to another episode of Together We Roll.
Yeah.
Watch this. And welcome back, everyone. Let's get going. So, from part 1, you split the party into 3 groups, actually.
Never.
Not always the best idea.
So we basically did a 1 hour per group as we went back and forth to keep the story along, and actually it worked out pretty well. I'm actually pleasantly happy. Still, I was the one going, yep. Anyway. Right now, in the current situation, after gained information from the bear, what information you could from this intellectual, so to speak.
He's an intellectual?
He thinks so.
Right.
You finished up that, gave him his axe head, and he gave the entire great axe to you. Because you did not ask for anything in return. You just returned his blade to him. Which is very important in a warrior's concept. But since he's currently not using it, he gave it to you. Did not conveying that he wants it back.
Check for magic. Sorry.
Yeah. At the same time, Sparks and Hazel, you went to go to the Dirty Hands Pottery shop in a remote area, and were in his broken voice way, where he cannot speak in any other fashion, and said, "You are going to die in 1 month. I say this with remorse." With his half-broken body of his, with his mask that changes faces. It's definitely magical because the number of faces that he has in this mask is a number. It should be a lot.
Yep. There we go. Sorry. My apologies.
And at the same time, a couple of you went to the estate, having a couple of interactions. So right now, everyone except Sparks and Hazel are at the estate. You've been there and you've been waiting for about a good half an hour, followed by them arriving up, joining you. As you guys see this lovely garden, the waterfall going around in this forestry area, not seeing the person taking care of the forest. It's not a true forest, but if you go into the little natural roads that is, you will legitimately feel like you're in a forest underground. It's strange.
When they
Whimsical.
get here, I do go up to Sunny and mention in Elvis, just gotta think we should stay on those.
I don't hear that because as soon as I walk in, I see the forest, I run in, I jump into the river. I said, "This is great, let's stay here for a month."
Okay, so before you even get to the river, I want you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Sweet. 18.
18. So as you go start to go jump into the lake, you several of the plants and shrubs shift your direction, and you see a lot of barbed and not like a sharp plants kind of deal, but they're barbed in a way they would grab you and turn around. As apparently there are a couple of defense mechanisms designed to make sure people don't get out. But you are very dexterous and you got past just barely and got through.
And there's hugging plants too.
There's what?
Hugging plants.
Barian?
Splash.
The river is about 15 feet wide. And
Nice.
very deep. It's cool too.
And it's much browner now.
As the layer of dust just.
I clean myself.
No, what's Austin had
It looks like he's getting a lot cleaner right now.
Barian, how are you floating?
Dirt with you.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Barian, how are you floating with? You've got a rock pulling you under the.
What?
Make a strength check. That's a very good point.
The turtle is right.
Oh, 14.
14. It's a little hard right now. As it's chained to your wrist and you're just like, eh.
Well, he's not gonna drop the rock.
It's definitely fresh water. You find that out.
Alrighty.
It was fresh.
Are you gonna drown or are you gonna be okay?
My hand comes up.
You
start-
kind of go under a little bit.
Yes,
yeah.
this is not a good sign.
Fucking T2 shit.
Perhaps you should leave Flem on the shore while you go swimming.
Yeah, can you give Flan to me for a minute?
Oh, he's probably in your pocket.
He's on your wrist right now.
No, he's not.
No, you let go? Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. Alright. Anyways, what?
Just Yeah, and I figured this seems a little too good. It's too perfect. Stay on our place, stay alert for now.
Scout around?
And I gesture over to where Ganek are.
Gaw is currently on the floor, kind of on the side and just leaning with one arm up.
Personally, I'm not
Resting on his
paranoid.
neck.
It does seem a bit perfect, but it also is in line with the description we were given, so
It all matches up?
it all seems to...
Like legits?
Well, perhaps that's why they
It-
wanted
it's-
us to guard the place.
It seems like the kind of estate that a rich person would have, so it makes sense because this was supposedly the estate
No?
of a rich person.
And since we knew our
I
family
thought they were
knew
talking in common.
the rich people in our town, this is like way beyond anything we've ever seen, right?
Yeah.
Like we know.
This is
some
definitely
people.
the upper
Okay.
rich folk.
Our
You've
first one was slightly
you've
upper.
seen estates like this, but this is beyond extravagant, and to make such estates would take generations.
So 1%
But
or
they did
1% of the
move
1%.
it.
In Abyssal, just testing the theory out here. In Abyssal, I say to God, "Are you really that paranoid?"
God just looks at you.
Just wondered if you like spoke every language. Do you speak Abyssal?
The
I
man
say to
is
God,
good.
do you speak Dwarven
He
and
doesn't speak
Dwarvish?
anything. You guys are being so rude.
Oh,
Stop
you
bringing
can
it up.
understand.
Go drown.
No.
Continue
That-
to drown.
No.
Derek, that was rude to ask him if he could speak Dwarvish.
I meant that if you
Yeah,
can
because
understand
if you
Dwarvish
ask
is what I
somebody
meant.
to talk who
I'm
can't
sorry.
talk, that's just really rude.
It's really
Speak
rude.
up. Yeah.
That's really rude.
Sorry.
I would never
meant
do.
no offense.
I roll my eyes so much that it looks painful. I just,
It goes into your skull.
How was the trip up here? Everything okay? No problems?
By the way, Ek, do you consider
No.
yourself a swordsman?
no major concerns.
I-
But
Why, yes. Why?
and
you ask?
Elvis just heck did drive me up the fucking wall.
Having an
He speaks
attention.
Dwarvish now.
Well, that's good.
Apparently, I'm his servant, according to the guards.
As his servant, you notice that Ek is currently drawing his great sword.
He's just and what the fuck are you doing?
Well, he asked me if I was a swordsman, Derek did, and I'm showing him my,
The word
my
yes.
great sword.
His
Slip out of your
massive,
fucking head.
his massive executioner style great sword.
Good. God.
And Devers, do you consider yourself a swordsman?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I have a favor to ask both of you.
Well, can we ask Ag to
What?
nicely put the sword away?
But you see,
In
I
the
said
nice people's
I
house?
said the word yes in the
Well,
language.
this is our abode, so why
This is
wouldn't
not
we-
our abode.
No.
We've been hired to guard it.
Not with a
We've
sword
been
in the living room where you can
We've
break
been hired
shit.
to.
We're not in
check
the living room, we're
and
out in
make
the
sure things
garden.
are okay. They have guards, and the guards seem very well trained.
We're not.
Excellent.
I paperwork.
I still have it, right? I
Yes.
I can't read
Or
it.
actually,
It's
they
in
gave
Dwarvish,
it.
but
They gave it to me, and then I gave it back to you.
yeah.
Here, read it.
Okay.
We're not sent to. This
Bypass all the legalese, get to the points.
We're not here
There
to
wasn't
guard
much.
the house.
So, okay. So you are acting as, for all intents and purposes, you are acting as the master of the house in terms of maintaining it, looking over it, and make an intelligence check.
Oh crap.
Maintaining it, looking over it, and
First roll. First roll of the game.
10.
Okay.
Ooh.
In maintaining it, looking over it, and just being a general deterrent to make the house look lively and look like it's been in use, so that it deters anyone that thinks that it's empty and to go check it out, so to speak.
In vernacular, we're house sitting.
House sitting.
And we don't want to break stuff.
Dude, it's a big
It
place.
does say that you will be paid 500 gold pieces, which is an excessive amount per month, and you cannot be kicked out of the house unless you are paid for the number of months you've spent in here.
Well, this is.
So we would have to
Do you
stay
know
here a
if-
whole month to be paid.
Yeah.
What?
It also says you also have to pay the people here.
We have to
I
pay
didn't
the
realize
people
Out of
here.
our,
Huh?
Out of the 500 gold pieces a month that you were given.
Yeah, it's a break even kind of thing, but we get a place to stay. What?
I just don't like it. It's like.
Because we totally saved the brother of the owner, and that whole thing at the very beginning.
It just seems. We're getting paid.
Do we know who the
Paid
actual
apparently
owner
a lot.
It's
have
the
you
girl
ever
from the
seen
very
shit at
beginning.
this level?
Oh, okay.
You have.
Who can't come back?
I figured I
Right.
might.
The one that I'm advertising
not
for.
my home
Your-
business,
your
but
city-
like,
is
Darla Coinbury.
very,
Yeah,
Darla.
very
You're advertising for her?
In some areas.
in
I'm
certain
advertising
areas,
for the lady of the magic store
Yeah, this
that
is
we
the
crashed
thing.
through the window.
This isn't
No.
no.
Oh, I'm getting my
Not
character.
really.
Okay, I've got to get people mixed up. Okay.
Dwarven lady with the wrecked house.
first
gave
one.
her the thing. That
The
we're
first
not
one that
supposed
let
to
us
talk
stay there before we left. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
about. Okay, yeah.
Alright.
So
Got my NPCs mixed up there.
Sorry, Hazel's not here. I was gonna like gesture to the gun and be like, I wonder if she has anything else. Others sticking around. Let's go ransack the place for rifles.
no, let's not ransack the place.
No, not doing that. Not doing
Sonny,
that. She's not even here.
I'm just.
Turn into a
Look, everything's like perfect.
Yeah,
it's-
because everything's been dropping shit turds from the sky since we very started. And now we have a nice place to stay. And yeah, something's bound to go wrong. Why would they ask us to check in on it if something's not going to go wrong?
I want to say in terms of just things looking
As the
too
man's
perfect.
two doors open, and a elderly dwarf, balding at the top, but is currently has various different metal, pieces of metal, almost like a manly tiara. Tiara for a man that is covering the bulge out, making it a little bit more fashionable. Grain hair that has been put in a ponytail, and big mustache handlebars with a long pointed beard for a mustache. Dressed in not extravagant, a nice suit of blue and grays that has an extra flare of a cape that goes over the shoulders and goes about halfway down the back. And it has various different metal bits of various different gods and symbols and ranking across his body. As he takes a look at you.
As he's doing that, I do prestidigitation of his shoe, and I drop it on the floor. Small shoe.
The shoe just dropped.
And then disappears 6 seconds later.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I got it.
You got the gist.
Yeah, that was fine.
It is a pleasure to meet most of the new masters of the house, temporary if even. However, mine is. It is a pleasure to meet you. I am Northric Anvil Sunder. Pleasure to serve you. As he bows a little bit.
He said Northric?
Anvil Somber.
Noldrek? Anvil Sunder.
Noldric. Okay.
Yeah, Noldrek.
Aldrich. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
May I see the documents?
Well, I guess I have them now. Aren't you?
You handed
As
them to
you
me.
grab them out of Sonny's hand.
No, I think I used
No,
it.
he
No,
had
he handed them to me because he wanted me to read them to him.
Even for his age, and he has heavy bags with his very heavily tanned skin, heavy bags underneath his eyes of just general wear and tear of being an elder kind of deal. Takes out a monocle and then flicks it. It comes out to a full set of glasses. And goes over the agreement. Thank you again. I have been made aware of your aid in Mrs. Coinbrew, Lady
Mrs.?
Mrs. Coinbrew. Yes.
Well, that's new information.
Unfortunately, she is not a lady, but she is the lady of the house, even if the title has been revoked.
Revoked by who?
That I will not say.
None of our business.
Fair enough.
She has been quite kind to us.
and I will be kind to you to repay what you have done. Thank you again.
Well, we have 2 more coming. I think they got
Allow me
lost.
to introduce you to the rest. And then as soon as the other 2, I'm assuming the big metal man and the small girl, yes?
Oh.
I'm 5
We should not refer to her as a small girl.
I was referring to in width.
Stature.
I just kind of look down at myself.
Very well, sir. I shall revoke that immediately.
He's the only.
As he
Big
opens
one,
the door
these two.
completely
Yeah, I'm actually pretty.
and just stands with a hand out trying to invite you in.
Excellent. Derek proceeds it.
What about Hazel and Sparks?
Well,
Well, we don't know when they're coming. So, all right, let's go in.
well, if he was going to find another Warforge, it may take time for the repairs that he was hoping to get.
That's true.
Oh boy. Let's all just get together and cry.
Keep building this bombshell.
We follow. Coming, brother?
We're just
What?
about. We're just about 250.
I asked him if they have a towel.
Just about 250.
I run over and do the thing you taught me how to do and dry off before I get there.
Or not.
I reach into your backpack and pull Flan out. Thank you.
It's an interesting experience as you feel yourself get heavy for a moment. As soon as he starts to go and try to grab, and then he grabs chain and just takes the load off of your backpack. It's a very interesting experience.
Where are we going?
Entertaining.
Lan needs to be more polite and ask before he goes in my backpack.
He says you did, but you didn't answer.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough.
Is he potty trained?
Of course.
He
As I press the digitate.
He's not an animal,
No.
otherwise you probably would have killed him by now.
I press the digitate, reach into the back of my thing, and pull out a few pebbles and go, yeah, good enough.
They disappear on the ground.
See, he cleans up after himself.
Entering, you find a number of people lined up in a single line as you enter, as the butler, Noldrick, steps in behind you as all of them bow towards you. As Noldrick begins to speak, this is the rest of the members of the house. They shall maintain, feed you, clean, and generally do everything of day-to-day activities that you desire, want, or need. For the most case. As you see, how many people do you see? Besides Noldrick and the 2 guards, you see currently, you see a forest light, the one that is actually rather fancy dressed in very nice silks and heavy wool fur as well at the same time, of purplish blue design, more of a dress and beads that line her dark hair that has actually a plume at the top, and a beard is a female dwarf. She is introduced as the cook, even though she has a fair, almost a pale white expression. She is introduced as Zora Phelan Frostbow. She is the head cook, and then there's the cooks behind them, which is Kis Garodith, and then the 2 housekeepers that are sisters after that, and then the florist, who will remain nameless, is still in the forest. We have the smith, he's also there, which is Yol, as he provides it, and the 2 guards, which are the twins, that are one of the females, one of the red curls, one with the bow, slight scar on the right part of the face. The other one has the natural curls and wears thick gloves.
Hello. To all of them, not just.
They they all say, they all go, hello, 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 hello.
All right. Well, nice to meet you. I'm Sonny. This is my brother Barry, my other brother Eck, And God, my other brother, this is my other brother over here. His name's Derek. He is awesome. He can do flips and swords, and he likes to jump off of sky ships and come around the other side and back on. This is our Davos from the ocean.
Davos, yes.
And we have a big robot-looking guy and a beautiful lady coming later.
That's true.
She loves animals.
Davros likes seafood.
As Nolden says out in the open to the rest of them, please refrain from calling the small one small.
5'7".
Dwarves. I take my general average of the people in the room, and I'm
Wouldn't dwarves be smaller than you though?
They
Yeah,
are.
they would.
I'm 5'7".
5'7".
They're short, but they're stout.
I'm only 2 inches taller than you.
She's not even the thinnest, but he's a fucking elf. He's very thin.
You're an elf.
He's lean.
You're
You're an elf. They expect you to be elf.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyways,
They call you blue elf.
Your typical blue.
You're a bluff.
Is there rooms that we
Don't
might be
fucking call
using
that.
over here?
Going over, sorry. Noldrick says, yes, follow me, as now seeing this very dwarven area, hard built, has its angular, rugged design that has various different squares that make the entire building, and rectangles, and has the softened edges, and has the very Nordic type scrolling and swirls around the corners of the artistries, as tapestries and paintings and sculptures. As you go from, let me get the list out, going over through the whole house, going through the grand foyer. There's also a gallery, a great hall, a dining hall, a less formal dining room for smaller events, more attentive. You have the bathe house, the music room, the drawing room, the game room, study library, and the conversatory.
Conservatory.
Yeah, there. A sitting room, and an armory and training pit at the same time.
Training pit. There
Yes.
you go.
Hey.
Training pit?
And rooms?
Yes, and plenty of rooms to fit all sorts of size and needs. There are about 8 different guest rooms. Can sit 2 if needed. However, they are suite size.
Sweet.
Yes.
Size.
You two go in the room together?
There are a couple of
1, 2,
areas.
3, 4, 5, 6.
No, you don't have to. I was just wondering,
Are there bunk beds?
Bunk beds, no.
Oh, well then probably not.
I was just
He loves bunk beds.
bunk bed.
There is one child room actually with a bunk bed. Actually, thinking about it,
But that one's not a suite, it's a kid's room.
it's a kid's room.
Yeah, I think there's enough for each of us to have one, right? And
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
All right, I think we can all have our own rooms.
No.
I mean,
I know. I was just.
he's all grown
I'm
up
still
now.
gonna share.
Yeah, it's him and Flan. I mean, how many
That's
people can you fit in a room?
That's very true.
I asked the chief cook. We do have a specific dietary requirement. Not retirement. Can you make flan?
I shall convey that to the cook that you wish to have flan dessert. How many should I do this for?
One. Throw in the rock.
It'll take a couple of preparations. We might not have it tonight, but we shall.
Have two. Or more. I mean, enough for everybody to have one.
I shall convey that. It will be a little more expensive as
I give them 100 gold.
refrigerated
Here,
desserts.
there's 100 gold.
Ooh.
Whatever extra,
that's a down payment on food.
that's whatever extra food we eat that's probably not expected until the 500 comes in for the thing.
The 500 a month comes from the safes underneath.
Right, but we haven't earned it yet.
That is correct.
So there you go.
Speaking of which, you are paid 500 gold in advance for the month of staying here.
Oh,
He hands the 100 gold back.
sure.
But the contract says that
62.
we can come and go as we please.
Yes. If you wish to.
So why would you be paying us in advance if we
Because
haven't
that's what the
stayed up for
contract
30 days?
You know what?
It is a very lenient contract. You have to spend at least 1 day a month in establishing.
I'm with my brother. We haven't had a vacation in a while. I'm just saying, we've been go for the last 3 weeks. We should
Rest
like
for like a month or something.
a couple of days.
At least I wouldn't mind.
I mean,
It's been about a month.
Here now, it's about 300 pounds
a
on.
week, if I'm not correctly.
anyways, how about everybody just agree to leave the money here for expenses until we're done, and then we can just take it as a. Because it's only if we were to split it, it'd be like 60 gold pieces a piece, and that doesn't. So we'll leave the 500 here for expenses that we.
We're such snobs.
I mean, unless you really need the 66, guys.
No, I'm good right now.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Wow.
I would rather.
Our money is getting a lot of interest. It was 60 a little bit ago. Now it's 66.
62.50.
62.50, whatever.
60. Oh,
60,
we lost
gold,
money.
five silver.
That's the
All
stock
right, so there we go. Anything we need to know about the house?
Heck, do you know that?
Well, the house. Well, there's a couple of rooms that you cannot go. You cannot go into the.
Yes, I do.
Any as says lady by accent, but goes Mrs. Coinbrew. Immediately after, like he's not used to it. He says there's a couple of rooms that you cannot go into, which is Mrs. Coinbrew's personal bedchambers and study, which is also the legal room.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah. The place
And we have
is
guests?
the 200. You can have guests within reason. You cannot have fashion over exaggerated parties.
Oh, I was just thinking of one, that's all.
Okay.
I kind of thought it was just the dwarf farming.
Mm-hmm.
I just.
This place is 240,000 cubic feet. I was slightly off on the measurements, and after I was making it, I'm like, a little bigger.
It's not like our character's going to use a tape measure.
It's
We go
60
measure
foot
50%
by
of
50
square
foot by 80 foot tall, essentially, of the entire estate that is submerged into the side of the volcanic chamber. It is a very luxurious area, and this is definitely a. If I want to retire, this would be very nice. So, going to areas of importance, I already read this off. It is in here. Oh, there's a second page of rooms. There's a small forge, stable, tack room, groom room, all the same. There's the private chambers, which you cannot go into. The wine cellar, root cellar. There's the larder, pantry, butler pantry, and the garret as well.
I was going to say gift shop.
It was gonna go.
Okay.
And the gift shop on the way out. That's where we get you.
Is there a bath?
There is a bathhouse.
Okay. I asked the butler if he could, I read a message real quick.
Okay.
Can you have this delivered?
What's the message?
It's to the barmaid, telling her that she wants to help. She wants my help making night juice. I'll be here.
He takes a small.
The worst euphemism ever.
Takes a small bell from underneath his robes and rings it. And one of the housekeepers comes over. He hands over the note. And he speaks very softly in the ear, and the housekeeper bows and goes off.
When are they going to get back? I'm a little worried about them.
Do we know where they went?
They
They went
for
to
the-
go see the
go
clay
get pot.
pot guy.
Yeah, the pot guy. It's never good to let your companions go off to see the pot guy. And like,
Well, now we know whether or not back.
They're gonna be.
Well, like I said, repair times
We
could
better
take
get
quite a
some
while.
food going though. They're going to be hungry when they get.
Exactly.
well, at least she will be hungry.
That's a new meeting of I just made some clay.
All right. Well, I wish to go bathe and get ready for dinner again.
I actually would like to do the same.
Marion, how was the water in the lake or the river thingy?
It was very nice.
It was. I think that would be
And there's hiking plants on the way there.
hugging plants. Hugging.
Gaunt actually would like to join
I
as
haven't
well,
seen those breed before.
as he hasn't had a proper bath and not a river bath in quite a while. presentation, doesn't have the same nostalgia.
Yeah.
It's not satisfying.
Exactly.
No.
It's just like, oh, I'm playing. So, in the bathing chambers, you find yourself looking at, you open up, there's two types of doors to these. There's two grand doors that open up into the bathhouse. You open one of them and you find yourself at not a balcony. It essentially is a balcony area that has two sets of stairs, like grand staircases that lead down to the entire bathing area, where the front part has drainage areas of what looks to be troughs. Small little half-dome troughs to sitting areas where, almost like a very Asian style of bathing, where you can bathe yourself before getting into the pool, where you see a massive pool area that has various levels of depths that is about 50 feet by 80 feet long.
That's
as soon as you enter,
So it's like a Roman style
house.
bathhouse.
It's a
Yeah,
bathhouse
okay.
that has mirrors along the side of the area and has various grooming equipment when needed.
And I'm outside trying to make my way to the.
And Ulrich steps down as you enter and starts to pull levers that are in hidden little nooks and crannies, and you suddenly hear as water begins to spill out dwarven statues that are pouring out into the actual sides of the pool that hit the troughs and go into the pool. It begins to fill.
I kind of look under my robes. Is everything back where it's supposed to be?
It has.
Oh, good.
The pain has subsided about 2 days ago. Nothing unusual as of late.
That would have been awkward.
Yep.
Showing a little too much. Oh well, not enough skin in this case.
It's an
Come on,
unintentional
brother, show
Sunny
some skin, please.
It's a,
Oh, no, Sonny with no regard for, what we call fair folk. He's just like,
Happy naked time, right?
because it's really warm water, right? It's heated by the lava or something.
Actually, the water here is magical in nature. Nolder conveys that there is no piping from outside areas for the water because this is a volcano. So it had to have an arcane influence
Basically,
in order to
volcanoes
get
and
water
water.
or heated water down here.
Yeah.
But it's warm, right?
when you get rid of it, you just pour it
Okay,
out on
good.
lava.
Yeah, because I'm just totally yeah.
Oh yeah, it's heated water. You can see the steam start to and it's
And I
actually
cannonball with flan.
the dwarven statues that are pouring this liquid. These actually can be a makeshift waterfall shower kind of deal, if needed.
Oh yeah, totally. I'm digging it.
Hi, cannonball.
Come on, jump in.
I'm going in as well. Just undo the hair, strip everything down. I don't give a shit
Noldrick
either. I just
bows
dive
out and gets the preparations for the very
And
cloth.
I just
and
watched
picks
for
up
a
her
while.
clothing
Curious how
and
long he
leaves.
stays under.
He takes our clothing.
He takes your clothing.
Your clothing's filthy.
It
You've
is.
been running around in the fucking
Mine's not.
volcano.
That's.
Oh,
Swim!
what's his name?
Wait,
Merlin?
it's on.
No.
It's on. I love the idea that it's on a chain, so you're just like swim.
Noldrick.
No truth. I assume somebody's a seamstress.
Someone here is a seam. Someone is a seamstress here, yes.
I like patches.
Basic. Oh, very well. Good. Like you want me?
If there's rips and stuff, because I don't have mending. If there's rips and stuff, could you have somebody with patches and stuff on?
It's an aesthetic he appreciates. As
Yeah,
I'm
and
like
he's
doing
kind
a
of trying to
backstroke or
like.
something.
This is
I'm
definitely
enjoying the water.
a strange request. It hits his face. It's like,
Patch it instead of
and he
making
bows and
Make all repairs obvious.
all.
Or if if you want to sew me a new one or something, that'd be cool too. But I was just trying to make it easy on you.
We will make the proper amenities and fix it without splash.
You are awesome.
And he bows and leaves, leaving you to bathe.
Kind of swim over towards your area. I think.
Make a
Obviously, rich people
make a
know
dexterity saving throw.
One thing to look like shit.
I didn't want it to look like shit.
I'm all going out there with my bare beach towel. Doo-doo-doo-doo. And there's some hugging bushes over here. And oh Holy shit!
So flashback to
three.
so from this beautiful
Meanwhile.
scenery of very luxurious bathing in the bathe house in a volcano underneath the ground to you upside down, grabbed by various vines across your body, partly just completely submerged in these grasping vines around your body, just upside down as the blood reaches to your head, just
So, where did that go?
I don't know.
Okay. It's quieter.
Hugging plants.
Oh, the hugging ones. Wait, what the
What's a hugging plant?
This is bad
Come
love.
on, let hug you.
Bad love.
Okay.
It's okay. I told him about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably not like it's going to kill him
And
right now.
all of you bear witness to a cute event as Ga, this turtle design, actually has webbed fingers and starts doing a little paddle back and forth as a not a red herring,
Red-eared slider.
a red-eared slider, as he is a different type of turtle.
So he's in his element.
Yeah, he's going back and forth, and his actual back is actually very slick, unlike his very rough and just unpleasant to look at Tyrion.
That's the way I
Exterior.
I'm actually gonna start swimming a couple laps.
From upside
laps
down.
back and forth
I heard
as well,
that.
just to feel the flow of the water. It's been a little while.
And you find that turtles don't breathe water, but
Oh, right.
they can hold their breath.
They can hold their breath a long time.
Fucking long time. It's impressive.
Yeah.
Are you going to bathe or what?
Yes. I am, of course, wearing my mask.
Well, it's okay.
Josh, your mask. Nothing else. Standing by the bull.
There's very convenient steam in the places that count.
So,
Character
Corinne.
arc incoming.
Corinne. Here we go. That would be funny.
With the strategic steam.
Yes.
Water or something.
It's okay. God's the same way. He's wearing the mask that covers the, ugly bits.
There's actually a reason for that, though.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
Oh my god.
He has an it's understandable that he feels the need to, just
But God just kind of looks at you with your mask and goes,
I would not want anybody to be tortured to give away my identity.
You're Derek. We've seen your wanted poster.
Yes, but you haven't
The
seen my
nose was
face.
wrong.
I think we have actually.
Yeah, you took it off at one point.
you've seen it once. The nose was a tad a little,
We've seen you without your mask on, but it's okay.
It's like
I
you take the
understand
mask
your
on, it's
security.
small. You take the mask off, you go. Nice.
Oh, that's a magical item.
I tried the shower feature.
You're still stuck.
He's out there going, help! Help, anyone?
None of the people that work here are gonna fucking help him.
Barian, you're an asshole.
Did you hear that?
You don't hear me.
No, but I warned you.
You do hear giggling from the two guards on the posted areas. They're not attempting to come over, but they're just.
Can I do a strength check to try and get out?
Go ahead, yeah.
And he rolls a 1.
Yep.
Fuck it.
Oh my fucking god!
Oh god, it's like poetry.
Yes.
Oh
As you begin to fall and twist around, and you're like, yeah, I'm getting loose, and then you fall and then start to twirl around and get further latched and twist around so that you land. Yeah, you're pretty much cocooning yourself as one of your legs are forced into your shell, your other hand is forced in, and your neck is now wrapped around several times.
Is he visible from the front gate while they get here?
No, he's in clear view of everyone outside.
I know, but like as
they'll
they
see
arrive, they'll see him.
Yeah.
Oh fuck
Yeah.
yes.
He's
So,
wrapped up like spaghetti.
You are there for
in a
the
fork.
next 10 minutes as you're just cussing and turning, and then you hear as the plant starts to unweave and unfurl as you see this elder, dark-skinned human. I'm not like black skin, more like, very tanned skin. Like he's seen a lot of, he's sun-kissed, is what I'm trying to say. Old, seen a lot of years, beard that just goes down and looks like he kind of maintains it, but just let it go. No mustache, just a long beard. Green leathers with a green shoulder cloak and hood, with a glowing flower from his fingers that have wrapped around. As he begins just
Help.
looks at you and just takes his hand out and just holds it as the vines take a little longer, but eventually just, and you plop to the floor. On your head, actually.
Grab my towel and walk back inside.
As you go, going by the person that's just.
What? Thank you. Are there any other things that are huggy around here?
Moving the plant to his other hand, he just.
The whole fucking place.
The perimeter.
Fuck you, Barry, and go.
All the awkward cursors.
Thumping through this wonderful garden of just peace and harmony. You going by as the old man just
dirty,
saying nothing, just.
No, I'm saying a lot. A lot of awkward coming out of my mouth.
The old man that
Oh.
you pass by just goes and just disappears in his meadow once again.
So do you come to the bathhouse?
Yeah.
You find
Every once in a
very
while
much-
you see me hold climb by ear and then watch it as he goes just swimming underwater.
Alright. Those huggy bushes suck.
At this point, I'm laying
Did you hug him
down
back?
at the bottom of the pool. I'm just,
What?
I'm just
Did
chilling.
you hug him back?
I
couldn't.
can breathe fine down there. Like,
Oh, yeah.
fine.
very pleasant.
I figure any like
Hey,
soap in there
hey.
is more just like things in the air. You know,
Took you
like,
that long to find a towel.
Particulates.
Yeah.
I just give you a look.
A turtle look. Okay.
There are conveniently plant matter that has been, is I guess smudges around his torso.
You found the huggy plant. Did you hug them back?
They were lonely. Very, very lonely.
Oh, that's what took you so long.
They apparently have never hugged one like me before because they hugged me really hard.
Oh, maybe they like turtle soup.
Everybody needs to stop making that joke.
I lunge and grab and push him in.
Make a athletics acrobatics check and make the same thing with you as it grappled.
Acrobatics or
What was it? A grab? I thought he was pushing it.
Yeah.
No, sorry, it would be
Oh,
athletics.
I'm trying to grab him and throw him.
Yeah,
and
this
throw
is
him.
a
Oh,
grapple
right.
and fall in kind of deal.
So-
make a acrobatics or athletics check. You
oh,
make
it would be
athletics.
acrobatics, definitely acrobatics.
Oh, so you. That's good.
So is this so just strength check, right?
This is
or no,
athletics.
athletics. I'm sorry.
Athletics.
So
This is
athletics.
better for you.
So 22.
20.
Pushing in.
A very angle, disgruntled turtle just suddenly football tackles you essentially, and you both sploosh.
What the hell did he say to him?
I'm at the bottom of the pool. I'm
I'm
laying down.
You start hearing
like
cuss
backward.
words in Aquan.
I'm on the very bottom because I can breathe fine, and he's. Fuck.
What did he say to make him throw
Just
in the
all
water?
fucking all these curse words in Aqua, and I just
Got underneath the water, just covers his ears.
and I just go back to relaxing.
As you come back away, turtle soup?
I said perhaps the plants like turtle soup.
Ew.
Meanwhile,
That's why they were grabbing. Yeah, never mind.
So there is literally a brown streak coming off of me
Oh God! Thank God it's magic water. Like Jesus Christ.
because I'm
God
covered in
gets out.
dirt and
Yeah.
mud now.
Seeing that as a trail of just brown leaves, God gets out and trying to get away from the black streak in the water.
That's probably a good idea.
Alrighty then. Yeah?
I let you go once we hit the water. I didn't like keep
Okay.
you held in the
Yeah, you're not gonna fucking drown. Like,
No, it was
So I
grappling.
know, he's just gonna challenge them to see who can hold their breath longer.
Heck?
God comes up to Derek. Just
Prestidigitation.
In the future? can press to digitate the dirt off on the trail.
Pressy Digitator, I told you about that one before.
You told me about the Huggy plans too.
And you don't seem to listen to either of those things.
I can help prestidigitation you as well.
Plants?
I only have it.
You only had a what?
I think he's mad at himself because he didn't listen to you.
Oh.
He didn't hear what you were really saying.
He's a very good tackler, though.
Scene change.
Meanwhile,
Back in the other natural reserve, which is funny that you found the 2 natural reserves that I made for this area.
Yeah.
Yay from plants.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just like I didn't make a lot of them, but it's funny that you found both of them. But,
In the same session.
yeah. Sparks, taking notes down in your book right now, and Hazel, well, also drawing stuff in your book as well. As there is a currently sat down in the very center of this area, squatted down, and it's just seems like has gone completely still, and has said nothing as his vase, his theatrical mask shifts to a blank slate. Still eyes.
That's not creepy.
Yeah, definitely.
You must be sleeping.
You do see the lines that cover his, basically his nervous system glow and vibrate as energy passes through it. As he begins to enter some sort of meditated-like state.
I'm gonna go over in the grass and like make snow angels basically, and just enjoy my time.
There's not a lot of snow on the actual floor, but there's
I'm
patches of-
looking for grass.
Oh, for grass.
And
just
with
the-
just the motion.
In the grass.
Okay, that makes more. That's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would have to, climb. And easy enough. There's plenty of grass growing actually on the floor and on the wall a bit that goes up. It's not healthy grass. It's a little, brown and needly, but it's definitely grass that is surviving in such a hostile environment.
Yeah.
needs a druid in here.
Like the damn rich people.
Hey, maybe multi-class not druid.
Not a bad combo.
Saram made it known before he went into the state that he is here if you wish to have further questioning, but is currently just trying to rest. But knowing Warforged, he's not unconscious. He just cannot move from a state.
I needed this. I'm really sorry about your situation.
She's sincere.
Yeah. I
I'm
understand.
not there.
I understand you are
I'm not
sorry.
there. I'm not there.
However, you have no say in this situation, so it is not your fault.
Just
You had no forethought. You had no
jacket.
basically any being with this situation. So
Well, we're gonna have to figure out something for getting it fixed. He said Shadowfae. I have no idea how to get to somewhere like that.
I think I know someone who might. I'm gonna turn and just walk out now.
Are you leaving?
You will most likely be able to find us. Go to the tower.
I don't want to be alone. I don't think that would work very well for me.
Well, you're welcome to follow if you like. I'm kind of on a time restraint here.
Yeah. Okay.
It was nice knowing being
Can I
in
have-
blissful ignorance, but
Can I have 20 minutes? 10 minutes? 5 minutes? Can I do one more drawing?
Sure.
Thank you.
So here's what my notes were. Compulsive desire to draw nature.
I need something to remember when I'm back in the fucking volcano.
How many minutes do you have left?
She's gonna be so.
Oh,
God.
you suck.
Dude, Hazel's gonna be so happy when she sees where we're staying right now. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So I'm gonna draw like the opening up at the top that has the stars.
Okay.
I need to buy a clock now.
Which currently it's
Yeah.
night sky as you see the wonderful view of the purples and blues of a cloudless sky in the view that you have right now. It was a small little, as the wind changed, small little plume of dark ash from the natural volcano taking over. Not entirely, just but a little bit of glance of it. Go ahead and enjoy.
Okay. 21.
It's pretty good. It takes about 10 minutes as it's going from the top of the view. Are you just doing the top of the view that goes out?
That goes out and then like a little bit sides too, so that it has like a proper frame
so
around
a good
like
frame
the
of
purple.
reference. Okay. All right. Along with the rim of trees that grow for the best is what they can for the water that is down below, that are mainly pine needle trees. As you finish up the drawing, take a deep breath of that chilled air in this one specific spot for whatever reason that might make it happen.
While she's drawing, I'm just kind of laid down in the grass, just looking up.
It's, dare you say, peaceful.
While I'm drawing the stars and things, can I also just like have like a little moment for myself, like look over at him, see that he's like
Just
more or less rest.
He's currently facing in the direction that you are right now.
I thought he was
Slate.
looking up. I thought he was like on his back.
no,
looking up.
me. Look, she's
She's
looking
looking
at me.
at him.
Oh, him.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Different morph.
just on my back, looking up.
Okay.
Look up at the stars. Say a quick prayer to Desna. For like basically like, hey Desna, please don't let me die in this volcano. I would really like to get on the road again. Also, if you could help out, that would be really great because Sparks is my friend now, and
Yes,
I
so-
want him to continue being my friend and not try killing me because of some icky tar stuff. Okay, thanks, Desna.
We're
And go back to drawing the picture.
All lines are busy. Please try again.
No, it's not like she was leaving a voice message.
Hey, I know you didn't pick up the first time, but we could really use your help.
I could really use your help for my friend Sparks.
I don't know if you can get my messages, but
You haven't been returning any of my calls, so I'm just going to keep leaving these messages.
Ah, this lady again. Delete.
Whoa, wow.
Take the knife and twist it. Where's my heart? Missed it.
Some guy you picked there, man.
No, she's an interesting one. You finish up the drawing.
Yeah.
You were there 20 minutes. Time seemed to pass
Just slowly watching the stars.
as they rotate through the sky.
Which is not much for 20 minutes.
They move.
I can still
A
see
fraction of a
All right.
microscopic.
They can move pretty far.
I don't know. How good is your vision?
Not that good.
I only have 2 eyes out of the 4, so.
All right. I guess it's time we get back to the group then, huh?
Just slowly sit up. Would you like a ride?
Maybe once we get out of the tiny tunnel.
Looking at the scratch marks coming out of it like you were birds.
I'm good to. I apologize for this in advance. It might disturb your work.
The mask changed to a smile face. It is perfectly fine. I am used to being annoyed. It goes back to a flat slit.
Damn, straight up.
Thank you for sharing your.
Honesty.
and location and information.
It goes back to a smile. The pleasure was all mine. It is all I can do to help a weary traveler in need.
I'm also really looking forward to my little plant boys, so thank you.
Let me know how they go. As he waves goodbye, still not changing his posture.
Can we assume that I got like the directions for care,
Well,
like in little booklets?
not gonna matter.
Are you going to go back and ask?
Well, because some have like little booklets attached to them.
Generally, if
In
it's just water, it's
today's
fine.
society, yes. But he was a potter.
I know.
He's not a planter.
Okay, then
And they're in a vacuum after 10 minutes.
technically, I didn't say I was actually putting them in there. Technically, I just said, "Oh, I have items."
You said, "Oh, I could put them in my bag of
I
holding.
could.
I have items."
I
now."
didn't say that I did. I said that I could.
Right then, let's squeeze through.
As you claw away,
With my box.
thunk.
With my box.
It's a little wider again.
Yeah, it's a little wider.
And eventually, we make our way out.
You do make your way out. Takes a little bit, and you find yourself to this.
Do you mind carrying?
Sure.
Thank you.
He was a waiter.
That's
This guy's
true.
sitting up there.
True.
I'm just gonna keep an eye on my box in case it looks like it's gonna fall, so that I can grab it quickly.
Certain. He's
Let it.
actually pretty steady-handed.
Okay.
I mean, I was a waiter in a bar I built for 3 years. So
Yeah.
Makes sense.
New definition of this butler will break you.
cracks all 30 of my fingers.
His knuckles say cobra. Yeah.
Get spikes on.
Yeah, there's a reason why there weren't a lot of trouble makers in your bar.
Well, let's get back and drop this bomb.
Yeah, so you make it through. You go to the ground level. A lot of people have. Actually, the city, it's a little less dense, but you don't get the sense that there's a general nighttime underneath the Dwarven city. There is a time of rest, but not everyone goes on that time schedule, as they do not go on a night-day cycle as everyone on the outside would do. So it's not as empty-streeted as you might think, even though it's the dead of night. So there are still people in the streets, still people doing deliveries and doing work, and seem to be doing their daily activities, which is a different type of culture. It's definitely not as loud as it was, but something to know.
Question. Do we happen to run into the barmaid as we're making our way? Can we get directions this way?
The barmaid?
Yeah.
Okay.
With the messenger.
Unfortunately, no, because that actually the area gain is one level below, which is where they are, and the area that.
Well, when we get on the elevator.
She's coming from a different floor.
Yeah, she's coming from a different floor.
Yeah,
and she's
it'd be
going
a different
down
direction.
another floor.
And you guys got directions when you were in.
Because the
You say she's going down?
yeah, she's going down to where the bar is.
Sounds like a fun time for you.
Mm-hmm.
She's going down.
She's going down one
Well, she's a
floor.
dwarf, she's always-
So, because
Fair.
right now you're
Thank
on
you,
the
Barry.
floor level of the ground,
Yeah.
essentially.
Clarinet.
To get to the noble district, it's one floor down, and then to get to where the bar is another floor.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're going from the second to the third floor to deliver the message, and you're going from the first to the second.
So we need to go down. They need to go
Well-
down. We're not going to need to.
Yeah.
There's multiple elevators, so it could have ended up.
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
Yeah. Not in this city. Chances are very low to none, especially in the areas that you're going from.
One would say maybe a 1 out of 20.
No. Less than
More like,
1 out of 100.
how about
yeah.
0.3 and a percentile dice?
Yeah. Sorry.
But you know where you're going.
No, I don't.
I do.
We were all given
We got the
directions.
money.
I know where I'm going.
He gave us flat out directions in the bag.
I know where I'm going.
Okay.
So don't worry.
You've seen the Noble District because you passed it numerous times. You get there, Because you do have a 14 intelligence, so you don't need to roll.
13.
He said a
Hmm?
13.
Sorry, 13.
And I rolled a 2.
Roll intelligence.
Why would you speak up?
Critical fail.
Not 20.
No.
Never mind.
For what
Bless you,
GPS
for the
pops up in
amount
front
of for the amount of
Turn
things
right.
that have been in your way, this will not be another thing to be a nuisance of your day. You are done. Let's go. So you find a really quick pathway to get there. Actually, you
Cut
find
back
the
out here,
stairs.
cut the-
Yeah,
up
there's
here,
the
left,
elevator that
right.
you just
Urchin back
just
there.
missed the
Over the roof
elevators.
that he's-
You turn around and you find a stairway that goes down, and you are not you're immune to exhaustion.
So, just going down.
And around the corners,
And you're backpacking it again?
So she's just on my back first.
yeah. And you get down and you find the estate. Game paused once, twice, 3 times to know your business and why you're here.
Please some travel.
And we don't have papers.
And you don't have papers. It takes a few.
But we
it
gave
takes
him a
at least an
description.
hour to have one of the guards to go. I know who you are, because they get a description of who's coming in.
Metal man.
Giant metal man,
Pretty act.
followed by
Small.
human, followed by thin human.
Yeah.
That's about all you need.
Yeah, for a dwarf town, that's what you need. And you are escorted by that person to the estate to make sure that you don't get into areas you should not, because you're a tank.
Literally.
You could quite literally Kool-Aid Man in some of these
Well, I
things.
mean, my full description is Juggernaut, Warforged, Fighter, Brute. So,
yeah.
Subtitle: Don't mess.
Finding this humble abode that is elegant and
Peaceful and quiet.
peaceful, wild, and rather pleasant to the eye as you see this wildlife on the left side. Heavy dwarven for dwarven made, but not obtrusive, not in your face kind of deal, like some of these buildings over here with their walls and the security, and you know how dwarves can be with their walls. This one's actually rather, out of the way as the water goes into the water that came from the waterfall goes around to where the gate is, and it actually feeds into the various, almost like rock rapids that go underneath the wall, and it sounds like it goes into an underwater chamber before making that very pleasant sound of it echoing into the from the cave itself before disappearing entirely. You are let in. Actually, the twins up top. It goes, well, cover me blind. They won't get him. They won't get him when they said the giant Warforged would be coming over.
Hi.
Why, hello there. Oh, you're beautiful. They said you were beautiful.
Oh, that was too nice of them. Thank you.
Yeah, one moment.
5 minutes later.
man, I wish I could jump right now.
Who's the prettiest person in the party? I think it's Davros.
We have the sexy side, and then we have the functional side. And then there's
This whole side is the good-looking people, except he covers himself with a mask.
and then we have the bridge in the
I think
gap.
y'all made Hazel out to be way more attractive in y'all's mind.
No. Davros is the prettiest one, I think. I didn't do that on
Whenever
purpose.
Sonny
Fucking
thinks of
elf.
him,
Davros is the
he
exotic.
thinks of this.
Shit. No, the final kill on the orc is how Davros always thinks of Hazel. It came down and the bow staff just cracked into his skull and
She
he
broke
just
it
fell
off
over.
his
Yeah, it cracked into
Snapped
his,
onto his head.
it
Like
cracked into his skull, slipped, hit the ear into his clavicle, and snapped the clavicle.
And broke the bow staff.
See, I remember when you took care of the horses.
Yeah. You are
Thank you.
entered after 5 minutes as you see this natural curled red head, long and Amazon and free, sturdy build, about 4 foot 2 inches, very tall for a dwarf, and goes, "Welcome to the estate of the Cornbrew. You are the masters of the house until said further. even though the contract's weird. Welcome to the estate. Is there any form of title that you wish to call you?
Hazel's fine.
Hazel, pleasure to meet you, Hazel. Well, where are my manners? Too many names.
You're telling me.
You may call me Roulette.
Rubette?
Roulette. R-U-I-G-I-T. Roulette.
Ruit.
R-U-I-G-E-T?
R-U-I-G-I-T. The I is silent.
Oh, Ruget.
Roulette.
Really sounds like you're putting an L in there.
Yeah.
It really sounds like roulette.
Roulette.
Regret.
Ruget.
I regret everything.
I regret this entire conversation.
That's fair.
You may
Get
refer-
inside.
You may refer to you as Sparse.
Can't pronounce it.
Pleasure to meet you,
His name fucking
Sparks.
works here.
You are a person of great stature.
That's an understatement.
Let me know if you want to tussle sometime.
Come again?
You heard me.
I like that guy.
Does not compute. Does not compute.
I heard half of that actually.
Said, let me know if you want to tussle sometime.
I heard tossed sometime, but okay.
Let me know if you ever want to throw my ass.
Not that kind of toss.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of salad here. Yeah, actually.
Not that kind of toss, but okay.
There's nothing wrong with
So
this.
you are led into the state. You, at this point, have finished your baths, and you do not get your clothes back yet, but you are currently in your bathrobes.
Oh,
And
nice.
as you guys are getting ready, they come back right when you're about to need them, in general, after general pruning and
I
stuff like
don't
that.
need one. And I didn't need any clothes taken away either.
They took your... you didn't even take anything out, did you?
Nope.
He didn't even take out his cigar.
He didn't take off his backpack.
Nope,
Okay,
you
it's
did not.
sealed.
There's
Your backpack's all wet.
There's a bunch of backpacks.
Presentation.
Some of them are sinking. Bubbles coming out of them.
Especially the one with the gold pieces in it. Oh my god. Your clothes are pristine, clean, and for the one that had all the patches and tears in it, the patches are gone, and it's as if it was new.
So there's no patches?
No patches.
He didn't listen.
Well, he didn't take out every patch, but he did. He took the small patches out. That doesn't look right.
Oh. See? Fanciness. So it looks a little cleaner.
It looks a little
Cleaned up,
cleaner.
yeah.
It doesn't look like the rags that he was wearing, even though they're still rags.
Still looks nice.
It looks more stylish now.
I am stylish.
Yes.
My own stylish.
All the uppity, the rich people will not question you at all.
I call it ghetto chic.
As you see the butler again, Mildred, with his big, and I do mean like overly big kind of deal, like someone took, imagine if I'm painting a beard on my hand, he took a handle mustache, like that kind of deal. It is like ridiculous big.
And it's like coated in mustache wax.
Oh yeah.
So do we see these guys now?
They join in, and actually they are escorted by this by Mildred to your location so that you guys can ride and
Put my arm behind the head, have her swing down.
I mean, I can just hop down.
Before you even get in, you're just picked up like a cat.
I imagine being picked up just by like the back of the
Yeah,
knee.
yeah. It's quite literally like a kitten. It's like,
Hey, I'm not a
A
cat.
deposit hazel.
Hey guys, welcome to the It's Too Good to Be True house.
Damn.
I look over at that and I say,
It's not too good. It's not too good to be true. It's not too good to be true.
I just keep walking.
just to be fair,
every now and again,
in
you do
terms
have to
of rich people, this
watch
does
your
check.
head because he
And
is a
escape
dwarf.
Oh yeah,
We're
watch
still
out for
in
the
the
huggy
bathroom,
plants.
right?
No.
The bath area.
I'm still pulling vines out of places I shouldn't be pulling vines.
Okay, so I understood what you meant then.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Sparks
He ran out the good
goes off
Yeah,
into the
I told
distance
about
down the
Huggy Pass.
hallways
He hugged him and
as
got mad at
Noldrick
me.
falls forth and shows you where your staying room would be if you're looking for that. There's also a training room downstairs with a sand pit and a forge if you need be. What are you looking for exactly, Sparks?
Well, where were we when everyone's in there?
You're currently in, they were in the back.
Oh, yes, that's fine. I'll just stay in
They're
the
getting dressed to go to
I
dinner.
was just gonna go and just walk into the
I would
forest.
like to hop in.
Walk into the what?
Just literally walk in.
Water is warm.
Into the what?
Stay away from the brown spot.
Pool?
Nice.
Oh, so yeah, Hazel, you jump in and you notice that Sparks is just sitting at the bottom.
Alright.
Please tell me you just walked in, because
Yeah.
if you had cannonballed, it would have gone everywhere.
No,
I just walked in.
he just
Strip and
waded
splash.
in and just and he's completely submerged.
Hazel, they'll like sew up your clothes and stuff. Look.
Alright. Again, strip and splash.
So, easy. And
More cleverly
Noldrick
placed
picks up your
steam.
clothing, takes care of it, and Noldrick just kind of
He doesn't have to.
to Sparks as he kind of waded into all the oil, the armor, and the grease, and as you see the grease just pool to the top.
It's contained now, it's fine.
So how was your trip?
You're fucking.
That good, huh? Wow.
Well, the thing is that so I have 2 new plants, and Sparks is gonna die in a month.
Oh, well, we're all gonna die. Month.
What?
Ooh. Like for sure?
I'm
Or
above
is
the
this
pool.
like
I can
you
hear
went to the
this.
fortune teller?
No, we went to the other Warforge, and Sparks is a really old model, and to be able to like recharge things, and basically make him a new, I don't know what type of system to call it. There was a word he used earlier,
Okay.
but like
take a deep
circulatory
breath.
system
I
basically.
jump in and give him a hug.
I'm just underwater at the bottom.
By the way, when I say submerge, he has maybe an inch of water before he hits the surface.
How deep's the pool?
It's a very long pool, but it's only about 7.5 inches deep.
But you said that there was different levels, though.
There's different levels
Where's
for
the
a
deepest part?
dwarf.
Okay.
You don't really need more
Oh.
than 7 feet for a dwarf.
I
Right.
figure there's a point in the pool where it's like not even waist high if I were to stand. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's quite literally a walk-in pool.
Oh,
So,
So
yeah,
he'll,
I mean,
You did the right thing.
he'll go into more detail. He was writing notes.
I'm just laying at the bottom of the pool.
But we may have to go
And
to
you're being
the
hugged.
Shadow Fae to get a piece of how to fix.
The where?
The Shadow Fae?
Okay.
That
He
does
said
not
that he
sound
might
good.
know someone for how to get there.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Shadow Fae. Sounds like a nice place.
Is there anything? How would we know when he's going to die? He's just going to not wake up one morning while he doesn't even sleep.
No. See, the thing is that he has like this icky tar stuff that will drive him crazy and make him try to kill people that he loves and whatnot.
Okay.
I guess we're
So
going to the Shadow Fae.
So-
Fuck. Yeah. Okay.
So we're walking around with a ticking time bomb.
well,
Oh.
yeah, but we know where the fuse is. It's not just ticking. It's
Excellent.
gonna happen any moment.
I want to see if I remember
The
my
more-
history.
The more damage he takes, the worse off he is.
This is why I come up coughing because I ran out of air.
You can only hug him so long.
What? Prestidigitation.
I also use Avarice.
It doesn't
Amateur.
provide us air. Don't put balls in your face, we can't breathe it.
No.
What are you trying to learn from history?
I'm trying to remember if I heard of any cities where they were built or what their power source was.
Their origin? Is
Yeah.
what you're referring to?
Power source is called
Okay, so that's going to be
south.
2 roll. Know what? Make a general history check. Because you are from a foreign land,
Right.
so you would have different knowledge than
Right.
what you guys would have.
All right.
That has been fed to you.
Yeah. I'm not gonna, because a Gwellen wouldn't make sense for them to have.
No,
Warforged.
you wouldn't. It would
No.
not.
But also,
Yeah,
there's someone in
10.
the
Okay.
capital that might be able to help.
As far as you're aware, Derek, as far as you're aware, the Thiesel Committee are the ones that made Warforged.
Okay.
This is part where I get up and just kind of walk out again.
Yeah, their liquid, their fuel source, for the older models at least, as far as you're aware, is they call it will.
Okay.
The Warforged call it their will. It gives them will.
So isn't there a place where there's like a whole bunch of Warforged just laying out on the battlefield?
Yes. However, probably not a good idea to go looking around.
Just saying, spare parts is spare parts.
Fuel does it degrades over time.
Huh, do I know anything about the...
So, do you remember how long one of your
Make a
power
history check.
sources are
Or
supposed to
alchemy.
last?
I don't have
If I
a...
remember
Well, then make a
correctly,
history check.
you would go. I could go through one in a single battle.
Did you take your book out before you went into the...
No,
You didn't take your book out?
I'm assuming it's sealed if it's in my chest. It was
No,
out before.
you're not waterproof, man.
That's what I was
Then I would have.
saying.
If I
Okay,
did that.
yeah. I'm just saying you have basic intelligence. You would go walk in halfway.
Quick.
18.
18 for history?
Yep.
Okay, so taking a little grain of salt of what the Varosian Empire has fed you, the Warforged, and also what you've been fed from the Thiesel Committee and what they like to say, you from your higher upbringing actually know, because there have been tombs that have been located with ancient relics that are very similar to the Warforged. The Warforged are actually a rediscovered technology from a civilization that has long been buried and long been forgotten. The Warforged are most likely a failed replica in today's society, a failed replica of the perfected versions. And now when you say perfected, because the Thiesel Committee do not want free will, they don't want fear, they don't want emotions to get in the way, they want basically a thing that goes out there and is able to learn techniques and know how to learn how to kill someone.
Trainable golem.
Exactly. A trainable golem that also learns how to get into places.
Okay, how would one get there?
There's tombs. Okay, now that's a different thing. Unfortunately, you do not remember specifically with the 18 history check on specifically where a tomb might be.
But we know there's tombs that...
There are tombs or buried civilization areas that would theoretically have perfected Warforged.
But what about getting the Shadowfell?
The Shadowfell, with additional information, these things are gas guzzlers. His design is a gas guzzler, essentially, is what it is. Sal, S-A-L, or Will, as they describe it now, is made from a plant that you do not remember the name of, not with the 18, that actually grows from mercury in the Shadowfell. Shadowfell, sorry. And to get to the Shadowfell, I mean, there's natural occurring Shadowfell in several areas, but you don't really remember anything specific in design. There are natural tears from the material plane that lead into other realms. You know that for sure, but you don't recall like reading like anywhere specific like you might have it. But you know for a fact that if there is a open rift into the Shadowfell, the land would definitely be twisted to that nature.
This is the Strangers things written all over it.
So
I do not want to go to the Upside Down.
That's essentially the Shadowfell.
The Upside Down is a 5e thing.
I've
Yeah.
been there before. Right?
Shadowfell? No.
I've been to a part
You've been
that
to
was corrupted
a-
by it. Or a part that was like looked like the thing.
Alright,
You've been to a part that was actually guarded by a nymph.
so you know how to get there?
Maybe the Fae. No, Shadowfell.
What about the
Bless you.
like twisted by it? You mean something like
Something that was guarded by a nymph. A long time ago.
can I make a religion check?
I hate
Four?
those.
Where does the god of death live?
Make a history check. There's several gods.
The specific one.
Which one?
His poppy.
The Poppy.
Which is?
The one in the valley.
The one in the valley that we're supposed to go to.
Okay, just to clarify, you don't know which god of death or shepherd of souls has blessed you, essentially, or has breathed life into you, which is a very ironic statement. You don't know who your patron is, essentially. So the only connection that you have is this Valley of Woe.
Would that be a place to go to Shadow Fae?
Possibly, it is it would generally be a place of. Well, roll another history check about the Valley of Woe.
Nope. 2.
Okay. You don't know about this place.
Nope.
But you know the name, and that's pretty much it.
So I don't know anywhere that's a place to go to Shadow Fae.
There is a library here, just to remind you that. In the estate.
Oh, well,
Well, that's where I'm going to spend the next time.
I make my way that way.
Would someone press a ditch take me dry? Thank you.
Oiled up and everything.
Even though I don't do anything, I kind of join in and just wave my hand in the same motion because I've seen you guys do it so many times. I just I don't accomplish anything. I'm just kind of like playing along with whatever.
And at 8th level, he takes mage initiative.
No, I'm actually thinking of taking tough. Just so I'm okay.
It would make sense. It would make sense.
So you said you go through a battery. You can go through one battery during a battle, but let's say under normal operations where
I've been operating on one ever since I reactivated.
which has been how many days?
A little over 3 years.
Okay.
The problem is he's been in a lot of battles and fallen a couple times.
Correct.
The last few weeks.
Yeah.
And then it's
So
taken-
if
I've
we
done
found any
physical
more,
activity and taken more damage.
All right, so
in
if
the
we
last
found-
few weeks than I have in the entire time I've been back in living.
right? So if we found any more of these batteries, would they be able to
Unlikely.
help you out?
he said that
You're
they,
missing one,
Yes,
didn't
but
you
not
say?
universal, though. I am among the oldest of the units.
But if we found more batteries for your
But
part,
There were so few being
of,
made.
of
Sparks?
all the trails that we have right now,
Sorry to
it's gonna
interrupt.
be
It's
difficult
coming
to
from
find.
you since you read the book and we had this conversation. First of all, there's different types of will, essentially.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
there it is.
First of all, if different types of these fuel types will have effects on the Warforged.
So there's rage,
There's also rage.
which can sometimes cause a Warforged to just, blow up.
Once damaged properly.
But we don't want
Yes.
that one.
but
Yeah,
would
there's
you be able to
also-
identify the wills
No.
before putting them into you?
Yeah, there's rage, boost, and
Taste, basically.
which
burns really quick.
Yeah, burst
That makes
and
sense.
also hunger is one of them.
Do you know which one your particular?
I'm assuming Master's Box Standard.
Yours is will.
It's just the standard.
That's the standard one. Will is the standard one. It's the one that breathes life into them.
Okay.
No special, no
also,
special things, just what it does.
But
you
you
are
don't have
mass
any memory
produced.
about who made them or where they're at. Okay.
For clarification, you and your type of Warforged, each Warforged that came out of the early products of it were individually designed. Each one was a little different than the last before they were able to mass produce it. So it took a lot of resources, but they were a hell of a lot more effective at what they're supposed to do than the current models as the one that you just met.
So
Because for
you're
very
unique.
reason. But you're a gas guzzler because of that.
I have a question. Derek, where's your country you're from?
Florence.
Where is it?
I
Thousands of miles
show
away.
'em.
Is it not even on the same continent?
It
No,
is.
I show them on the map. I press the digitation of the map, and then I show.
You spray the wall.
That's right. I show them the map. I show
pretty
them
sure this place has
I
a
show
map.
them the 3 kingdoms, and then I point to where Florence is
I'm
at.
pretty sure this place has a map.
It
Right.
does at the study.
We're
But we're the best.
So
We're not allowed in the
So we're show offs.
I'm gonna go to this study.
We're not allowed in the study.
holy crap!
Yes.
Not
All
on
right,
this
Holy
we're,
shit.
we're way up
And you're
here.
at the opposite end. And
That's true.
Show
Actually-
them where the inn was where we met.
Oh, right here.
Okay, so it wasn't as far
Wow.
south as I
so
thought.
in the entire time we played this
This is
campaign,
where
we
you're
traveled
like
an
over
inch.
here.
Am I even on the map? Like how deep?
No, not really.
Yeah, how deep?
Yeah.
Because you said
You're
I'm
right.
at the edge of the continental plate. Like at the edge of the city is the fucking drop off into Abyss Ocean. Like
And the
No,
we're far out.
Oh, you're referring to the Maw of Shadow. Yeah.
Mall of Shadow with
The
a
Maw
portal
of
to the elemental
Shadow.
plane water.
It looks like a giant maw with teeth.
yeah, it's horrifying.
To get to my question is apparently it's opposite directions what I was hoping for, but I heard something about maybe a city. You said a big city. Is it the city of the north?
The capital.
There
The
might be
capital-
someone at
Capital
the
might be
capital.
able to.
Yes.
That would be where we go to a library or something and find a way to get
No.
into this shadow phase.
We need to go to find a gnome, whom I do not know the name of, but I know they're in the Noble District, third circle, section B of the city. Noble District.
I wonder if any of the nobles here might heard of him.
I would
Might
not
be
ask.
able to give us
I
more
would not
information.
ask. Personally, I would not ask.
So we go to the capital. Do we
That-
leave now?
I don't think we have time to go to the lightning sword place.
Well, I show him. Well, from the information that I got from the bear, I point out on the map the general location of where.
It's about 100
where
miles
it's
from
at.
this location.
That large hole that we saw when we were flying over in the airship?
Did I describe a large
Yes,
hole?
you did.
What's that?
But was it the same hole?
Yes, I did.
Wait, what? The hole
We
is
saw
where
the
the
hole.
sword is? Is it on the way to the capital?
No,
No.
it's in the opposite way.
No, it's not opposite.
It's southeast.
I think I was
southeast
describing
and
something
east
If,
different.
you, if the
Large
capital
hole
is
in the
12
ground, massive
midnight,
hole, and it was like a giant
and we are at the
volleyball
center of
straight down, like
Yeah.
a few hundred feet. Just this massive black sphere, or black cylinder in the
If you
ground.
can't remember, go to YouTube and look up Together We Roll. ROL.
Well, no, I'm trying to figure out what that was that you were trying to describe.
There's a few of them around the area.
Good news, I don't think it matters because we have to go to the capital.
I mean, there's domes.
Right?
There are holes in the ground.
Well, I would say this would
Straight
take
up holes.
priority. Yes,
Yep, capital, I
Like
guess.
holes that are hundreds of feet across.
but I think I need
Alright.
a change
No,
of
it wouldn't be
costume.
anything.
I'm glad everybody's excited about going to the capital. We got a couple of problems.
Excited.
Yeah,
Excited's
we
not the
can't
right
really.
word.
Nah.
Well, I mean, maybe the multi-pass will work, but
we don't have any of our papers.
Most likely.
well, we have all of our papers, but we don't have any that we want to use. I have my original papers.
I don't have mine.
I just don't have the forged ones.
Well, we do know about the
I
guy.
can
We don't
try to
have
get those
his.
back.
Or theirs.
Or who was the guy? It was
See,
the old
issue
fart.
the issue is
We get
I have
paper-
two things
could we
that
get
I can do
forgeries
when I go
from
to the
him?
capital. If I go to the capital, I can potentially find a way to get myself more
That might be
gold.
an interesting possibility.
Listen, because didn't you give him what you delivered other than that for shit?
That came
for-
from
But what was it? Looked like it was documents. That
Correct.
Or like
Those
negatives.
were for getting the stuff from the vault.
and judging from
Those are for
how
stuff getting stuff from the vault.
and
So-
judging from how
Those
he
are the-
talked to
those
us
are
in the pit,
documents
I'm not
that you
exactly
signed.
sure he would be the one to create forgery papers for us
No.
anyway. But
going to
it's
the-
worth asking him about it.
No.
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 Yeah,
Well, that's
let's
what
ask
I-
the guy who's talking to you about being honorable to get us some forged papers.
Yeah, no, I misunderstood what those were. Apparently, those were documents to get us into the safe to the
Get
safe.
him into the
Yeah,
safe.
they were hidden documents in paper so that you could burn the paper, but not the actual documents inside.
That's the butler.
I can try to get our papers back.
Well, we could try talking to Captain Vuvamu.
Vuvamo.
What?
From the ship?
That's
About-
currently in custody.
Because they had a beholder and a death kiss?
We could just go hijack the ship.
I don't think piracy is our best option. And
Especially
we
because
don't-
I'm
I'm the only one who vaguely knows how to do shit on the ship.
Desperate times
Especially
call for
we're going to
desperate
take care of
measures.
the empire where I was known to be made. One or two things are going to happen. One, everything's going to be great and I'm going to be able to find the information that I need and the person I'm looking for. Two, I get killed on sight and sold for scrap.
What are we waiting for?
Or if we could just skip to the middle and we sell you for scrap. We're going to be dead if we walk there.
For the month anyways.
We got it. We need an airship to get there. You need papers to get on the airship.
There's, yeah.
Or the stone and do whatever I want and get away with it.
If it works.
It might not.
Oh,
Well, the only
It's
way to
worth a
try.
shot.
The only way to know is to try. So we
Oh.
should try.
I need to go shopping for a change of clothes then.
yeah.
Segway.
You know what?
We should probably try talking
You
to
can ask
Lady
the-
Lolo.
The butler.
She's not here. True. All right. So we're gonna head to the capital one way or the other. I will try the multipass. Lady Lolo, I tried to send messages. I don't think she's here anymore, right?
Well, okay. You sent message to her that you wish to meet to her. You don't know if it got to her because you didn't really give a meeting spot. Like the people
So send
that,
another.
yeah.
I
'Cause
tell
you
the
can-
butler, hey, Lady Lolo, we're in the rich area anyways. Can you send her this message?
Oh, Archmage Lady Lolo, very well.
But not tonight, like tomorrow morning.
I will send it tonight.
You already have a different message for a possible meetup tonight.
I mean, if I, that would be embarrassing.
I shall
Playing
hold
Tinder at work,
this
Betty.
as he puts it in his robes.
I mean, she
Very
can
well.
get the message.
I give him a.
I mean, you
a
can give it to her
butler
tonight. I mean, the asking for the appointment is tomorrow morning. Like, because it's already late and shit. We don't want to bug her.
It is actually.
And has anybody showed up by any chance?
Actually, the funny thing is, I was just about to. As the butler, excuse me, turns around and then closes the door, comes to you, and just gives a small nod.
All right. Well, we can pick this up in the morning, guys. I'll send the other message. Can I get room service?
What would you desire?
Oh, I'm thinking something with a lot of protein and sugar.
Candles, a jar of honey, and I think a Red Bull.
Why the fuck does the red? I don't want to know.
Jelly, whipping cream, and some like snacks.
So you need
With
to
a
picture Lady
non-
Lolo, right?
Yeah.
Non-judgmental,
I'll pull the
but
sending stone and activate it.
Do you have any 1970s porn music in your repertoire?
Just start playing.
Careless
with
whisper.
a very, very recessed eyes, bags under his eyes of just a general old age. No expression has been shown. He just gives a small bow and leaves.
Oh, you're gonna send. Oh, I have sending stones. That's
Yeah,
good.
so I pull the sending stone and I say, Lady Lolo, this is Barry. And yes, he's counting on his fingers. Please help. We need to get to Capital fast to help someone. Can you help, please? Thank you. The same
To help someone? You use someone instead of Sparks?
I completely forgot I had one of
How
those.
much information did you want me to give?
As you ask that question,
Maybe another message later.
the message, you feel a response. Oh,
That's it.
impressed that you know spell. I have received message. Where are you?
Oh, you only get to do that once a day, don't you?
She wants to know where we are, but I can't tell her.
Oh my god.
How many words do I get?
25 if you... Oh, because you have one too, right?
Yeah, I have one too.
25.
Did she
Hello?
give one to everybody or just?
No.
No, it only goes one and then the answer. So,
I know, but she didn't use her 25 words. Hello?
So I send it. Hi.
Using what?
My sending stone.
He bought two.
Yeah.
That's right, okay.
This is Sunny. We are at the Coin Brew Estate.
Well, coin brews.
One
one.
word is one word.
It's just... It's
I'm back at 10. Can meet you in morning here. We'll have breakfast.
A response? Oh, you know this too.
Oh boy.
Very well. Coin brew estate. Which one?
Shit.
Shit.
She doesn't know how this spell works.
wait. I had one. Can I continue with the... I get 25 words or is that it?
It's
That
one
was it.
way, then it's
A
bad.
few moments go by, and then she uses sending and goes, I believe there are 3 Coinbrew estates in Galdoom. Which estate is it?
How many words do I get to send back? 25?
25.
Revoked Lady Coin Brew
With
Are
force.
with forest
And tell her what level.
plants
No, tell her what
and
level.
waterfalls on level 3 or whatever the level we were on.
Revoked coin, and another one goes through. Very well. I wish to have a conversation with you as well. You as a group, I mean.
Oh.
I will see you in 2 days.
Oh, she's sending it back another one to me? Okay, killed dragon, big apparatus, magical, that allows people to see far away stuff. Tried to tell you about.
That sounds like a message I would say.
Hey, it's my sending is new to me.
It's exactly how you're saying it, which is making it just like using another sending spell. I've received your message about that, and it's one of the things I am dealing with, which is why I will be there in 2 days.
You are awesome. Thank you. We will be here.
It's words, not syllables.
I don't know. I'm just whatever. I'm trying to do the counting thing like you did.
He's
There is no
trying.
response. It is ended.
Okay, cool. I go to the door. Hi.
You find you find a barkeep. Puffy cheeks, a little bigger build, good muscle arms. Looks like he's been wearing a nice, a relatively nice dress for moderate living wages. Sleeveless to show off the muscle, and clear presentation of the goods that she has. She's not shy. She works at a bar that's mostly men and guards. Hair done up, nice and straight in the back, and a little bit of makeup as well. And she's just kind of taking everything in, and just, oh, hi.
Hi.
I did not expect this. As she kind of just gestures to the whole building.
Yeah, we try not to flaunt it.
Oh my god.
Well, you have done a very good job. I am pleasantly surprised. Let's get the night started, shall we?
Oh god.
Is this the Panda Fireplace part?
Freezing.
Do you have a bath chamber?
Oh yes. I take her to the bath chamber.
Are we still?
I
in
think
there?
we're still in there.
We came out.
Oh no,
I'm
was
at
it-
the door.
I thought we went to like the study or something.
I'm
You were
gonna
going
go
to the study and then
Oh,
things kinda
please
happened.
let me be walking out going, hey, look out for the brown area.
And that's when we pan as Ek is going down the hall.
Pan to fireplace.
Just like
Fade to
both of you
black.
just
There you go. Panda fireplace. Huh?
yeah, and pan to the pool place.
The
Well,
pool
no,
just
no,
has
no.
brown
Pan-
and oil in it.
No.
I asked the lady if she can like flush it out and refill it.
It's no, yeah. The butler has definitely already done that.
Uh,
It takes a few minutes, and she's just kind of taking it all in, and we'll let your imagination go on.
Put in the
that.
fireplace.
Yeah. So you guys get to the study.
I get to be a bard.
Yay.
The study, given a little bit of view, is a long. It's a wide, about 20 feet wide, and it's very long to about 50 feet in length. Yeah, 20. And it's filled with bookshelves, which take it down to about 15 on each side because that's the bookshelves. And they're filled with various tomes, scrolls, papers, and just a wall of text all over. And it hits glass planes of colored windows that actually are illuminating like a actual daylight sky into the place with a colorful display of colors on the either side, 2 of them, and 1 in the very back, along with rows of sitting areas, 3 of them, and a very big work desk with an actual proper work desk at the very back. One of the 3 smaller work desks that are meant for more reading than actual writing, but can be used for that as well. One of them has been pushed to the side, to the back left corner, and has half-open books, torn pages, and other what looks to be scrap pieces of paper, but have been changed in a way that looks like some sort of method that has changed the ink that used to be on the paper that had been naturally writing, has completely been eroded away and made very actually rather beautiful scrolling artistry that uses the pages of the inks that connect together. But it looks like the ink has been erased. Like the ink was there and then it has been erased, and whatever's left are making these scrolling artistry.
So this writing looks like someone erased the design.
So it's artful vandalizing.
Exactly. Artful. Exactly what you said. My brain just. Anyway, as running back and forth, the poor man. Why did I get rid of that? Nope.
Because it's very
What did I just
late.
put? Oh, no.
None of us have been in this room yet, right?
No?
Nope.
Okay, we
Right.
didn't do it.
There's Noel's like, comes running back. I do apologize. I would not recommend messing with the nest. As he motions towards the pile of papers.
The nest?
The nest.
But we're free to look at the library, aren't we?
Papers.
What's
Okay.
in the nest?
Is there a directory
It
for
was
the
just a
library?
bunch of papers like stacked up.
Sorry.
Is there a directory for the library? A list of the
He
books that
points
are
to
in
the
the library?
big desk in the back, and there's actually a big tome that has, well, it's a directory.
I'm looking
Okay.
for three things.
That's where we're going.
Looking for three things.
Okay.
Warforged.
Okay.
Construct.
Constructs. Okay.
Will-
Specifically for like Warforged.
Will and Sap, yeah. Stuff like that.
Okay, so basically everything of Warforged.
Effectively.
Okay. So
Any variations of the word.
going to make a history check.
No.
As you are
No,
reading
it's
through
an issue.
scrolls and going through what they have.
Can I aid
Can
him?
I also?
You can aid, so you can either do with advantage or both of you straight up.
I'm straight up with. Actually, I have a +1 because I have a decent intelligence. So.
Yeah, I have a +1.
And I'll just
My
do-
intelligence is also +1, so it
So-
won't make
Roll
a difference.
individually, I guess.
Individually, or are we giving you an advantage?
We go 3 rolls or 2 rolls.
Well, either
You're
one
the
of you with
smartest.
advantage and one by yourself,
You're the
or everyone
smartest.
with one die.
Everyone with 1 die.
1 die.
Okay?
Okay,
Everyone
everybody
roll a
with
history
that?
check.
Alright.
Whoever's looking.
Him or him.
We both have a
Cox.
+1. You have a +2.
15?
15?
So close.
Yeah, see? Because we have 3 dice instead of 2 dice.
Yes, you are the brains of the group.
7.
7. Okay.
2.
2.
Yeah, I'm gonna help carry.
As you guys are going through the scrolls, for the next hour, hour and a half, as it gets late in the night, as you begin to yawn, you not tiring, as you continue.
I will physically read every single one of these books if I have to.
However, mentally,
That's why she's wizard.
you're panicked. You can't sweat right now. I mean, you
Again.
don't sweat.
I will physically read
Yeah.
every single one of these books if I
You're
have to.
hastily going through things and skipping and trying to get faster and faster information, but you're skimming over it and just currently going through here like a madman and numbering his minutes, essentially. And you don't find more information apart from that it was already given from what I said with him. And you're getting tired.
Can I,
I guess I should
try
try.
looking for one more thing too?
Of course.
Can I look for Shadow Fae?
Roll another history check.
Good idea. Reroll.
8.
8.
She's tired. She needs
Yeah,
to
you're getting
sleep.
tired. It's well
It's late.
in like 1, 2 in the morning right now.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm already in my room.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
24.
20,
That was a natural 20.
which is okay.
It's like,
What
what
about
was
this
this
one
for?
right here? This is Warforged.
What? Okay, hold on. Not even that. So you were interested in that nest and wondering what was going
He
on.
walks in and said, "Oh, what's this one?
Um,
Hey, you looking for this?"
Actually, there's something even better.
Hey, look, here's a picture of
as your
brother.
attention was drawn, as someone asked you, like, hey, can you find anything? And you turn around and you actually, with the chain around your arm, actually bump part of the paper and part of the books was shifting a little bit as one of the books fall over. As you look back, and then suddenly, as a couple of papers inside break apart and fly up and unfurl and unfold into a pseudo-dragon made from folded origami paper.
Everyone just stops.
As you see a pseudo-dragon made entirely of parchment that has been folded
The nest.
into
Nest.
the size of just a little bigger than a cat, that has his entire body made of paper that has been drawn with runes of indescribable amount of parchment paper folded up and everything. You see its eyes just a swirl of line marks as it looks around, as it goes up onto the top of the bookshelf, as its tail latches onto a book and throws it at you and goes,
Thank you. You're really cool.
as you open, it just kind of sits there.
What's the title?
History of the Warforged.
Here you go.
That's certainly saving a lot of time. Page by page, I will read meticulously
Why
every
did
single
you get here
This
earlier?
one is handwritten.
Why did you get here
Not
earlier?
many
I've been here the
pages.
whole time. You guys are hogging the book.
It's a rather thin tome, and it looks like this is a personal log
Going
of
to bed.
various
Good night.
books written into one of highlight of current history and old history. 24, you said. Additional information is the various different major land areas of where Warforged has broken down during the time, and that all the Warforged of your design, the predecessors, the original design, even though they're more expensive and more robust and chug fuel, the ones that disappeared the most were your kind. Not from missing in action or killed on
KIA.
yeah, not like that. But as the nation of Warforged divided and partially divided the three kingdoms between the Codel and Verosian Empire and the Verosian and the Thiesel Committee, they actually were doing quite well with creating a nation in between the nation. It was hard and difficult, but the only thing that truly stopped them was their inability of handling their new mental selves. They had no grasp of morals. They have no grasp of what is them, essentially, and no capability of having someone that could guide them. And eventually, after a short period that was this Warforged nation, it was on the brink of collapse. And thus, they devoted their efforts on making and forcing the other kingdoms in agreeing to end this war, and could be arguably the final nail of the coffin of ending this conflict of the War of the Burning Lands. Creating this Papers of Independence, this attachment to people that would have Warforged and theoretically be their parental guardian. But the thing is that caught your attention is that many of them disappeared. Something about, and there's a handwritten notes about possibly something about a hidden agreement between the nations that allowed the Warforged to go to a different location and create their own civilization, leaving the Warforged that did not want to take part of this new Warforged civilization, or possibly a ruse for a mass extinction event for the Warforged to get rid of them. One of them.
Was it the Crimson Fog? The Crimson Fog?
The Crimson Fog. There's actually notes about that.
Or the Amber Fog, or whatever it is.
Sorry, the Amber Fog. You are correct. Sorry, wrong names again. The Amber Fog is found on every battlefield of major Warforged activity. The gas has no origin. On record. Off record. Possibly a third party.
What? A third party?
A hidden organization that has been pulling the strings, unknown of who this third party is, that has released this gas that deactivated all functional Warforged and made them slumber for anywhere from a few weeks to a few years to a few centuries as time moved on, before them waking up, many of them quite soon, with a scar on the back of their spine of silver lightning marks, essentially, with a conscience, arguably a soul.
This is when I take a mirror and look through another mirror.
Taking your armor plating off, there is a almost like small lightning, like rust, but
You
of
never
silver
noticed that before?
metallic.
Can you look at the back of your head?
By the way, for just story context, I'm assuming that like Hazel would have kept trying to look and would have fallen asleep like reading
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that.
because it's late.
it is.
Yeah.
So, still reading well into the night, the last bit of information about the Amber Fog is that the undead are naturally attracted to it. As a side effect or an intentional product. Unknown. Which is why the folk tales of the souls of the dead of the battlefield
Into the
jump into the Warforge, which is not the case.
But nothing. Did you find anything about?
Silver leaf. The silver leaf is what you need.
silver leaf.
So that's the name of the plant that you were looking for.
Let's steer clear of the amber fog unless you want to go to sleep for 300 years.
Again.
Again.
But Derek's not there to tell you that.
It doesn't actually.
He went to bed.
That is 100% correct, actually. The last note is that the amber fog do not have any effect for those that have been awakened.
Oh, so you're good.
Right. Oh, 'cause
Supposedly.
it's a.
No side effects for
One time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that explains why
Like
I'm
the
able to walk
chicken
out of
pox.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That explains why I'm able to reanimate and walk out of it to begin with. Because I came from the.
And each page has a
Was
little
it three corners?
a bit of initials saying the renounced coin brew has made these notes.
Renounced.
Interesting.
Mrs. Because she's no longer.
Darla.
Not denounced, but renounced.
So we have a name of the leaf. We just need and we have a name of somebody who knows possibly how to get to the Shadow Fae.
Was there a picture?
Was there a map?
Of the silver
in the
leaf?
book?
There was. The silver leaf, it has a lot of leaves and actually has a singular long flower at the center of it that goes all the way up and curls around almost like a tentacle. Has small little petals.
So we know
And
what
it
to
shows
look for.
that it looks like it
Chest.
has almost like a liquid dripping off of it. Because this is just a black and white image.
Okay. I'm gonna take a look at the vial that I have.
So
Is it somewhat
It
reminiscent
looks
of it?
like the roots of it.
yeah. While I was reading, I just want to see if there's any books in Flanish.
Flemish.
You do not find any.
That was easy.
I'm gonna hold on to this book and read it very, very thoroughly.
Are you making notes in your book?
I'm assuming it's not gonna want me to take the book out of this place, so I'm just gonna keep making notes.
Lands on this paper pseudo dragon. Lands in front of you. Curls in front of you. As its tail waving back and forth. Seeing you take notes and sees an error. And swipes his talons over it and erases the mistakes. and seems to be waiting.
Spell checker. Excellent.
DB.
What's your name?
Way better than a paperclip.
Yeah.
Clippy.
He takes a bit of the scratch. Actually, he just writes in your book on a blank
I
area.
just dated myself. Sorry.
No,
No,
I
no, no.
got it. That memory still haunts us all.
What's his name?
If you say Clippy.
I have to look at my guy. I can't remember.
Paper cut.
Paper cut is his name. No.
Yeah, it would work.
Parchment. Ink spot.
I like Ink Spot. That's a cute name, actually.
Isn't that our?
That's
Ink sack.
Ink spot.
I had all
Ink
these.
sack is our shit's
Code
fucked up.
word.
And then
Sure.
ink spot.
He writes in Draconic. Tammy.
Red alert. Ink sack.
One more
What do
time.
you mean?
You don't know Draconic.
No.
He writes in Draconic,
The one who speaks Draconic is.
erases it,
Who speaks Draconic?
Comments?
and then goes into Elven.
Sylvan.
Elven works.
Well,
Tamby.
you may not be a
Cameron?
Yeah, but you're definitely
Tamby.
a Draconic.
Tammy.
Yes.
Tammy, it's very nice to meet you. Thank you for helping find the book.
He erases the name.
Tandy.
Tamby.
We can go.
No, B-I. B-I. Tambi. Also
Don't mess
pronounced
with his
Tamba.
nest.
Or Tambi. Tambi. Both.
2 Tams. Tampai.
Tambi. Then he
So
just
the roots of the syllables
sits
same.
in front of your scrolling, essentially. It's occasionally changing and correcting your grammar and spell corrects.
Spell checker. Yeah.
And I keep flying a little bit away because I do know that paper beats.
Occasionally, it's actually quite annoying.
Do
Because
you?
he takes, you're like writing an entire sentence and he
I
just
know.
takes his talent and erases it entirely. And just looks at you.
You could ask Tammy to write
So
it
never
for
mind.
me.
It is as annoying.
Actually,
as
that's good.
Tammy, can you write it for him?
Could you just...
Can you write it for him? Please?
I don't think he speaks common.
You
Say
answered
Elvish.
my question about that.
You can try Elvish.
I'll repeat it in Elvish. But I think the answer was no, but I'll repeat it anyways. In Elvish.
His tail going back and forth, making a rustle of paper sound with each movement.
I'm asleep.
I'm pretty sure that's a no. Yeah, I think we're the only two still there.
I don't tire, so I'm just gonna keep going.
No, I'm there. I'm just
Oh,
asleep.
but you're asleep.
You do
You're like one
notice,
of those
looking
moments where you
over
just-
with her head against the side of the paper, there's a... Well, her face sideways. The book, it looks like the ink has crawled onto her face. And it has made nice twisting scrolling around her face.
That's creepy.
I like him, so I like this dragon.
The paper suit of dragon wrote on your face.
Oh, okay.
I like this dragon.
I'll at least layer more comfortably.
So now
outside
she
the
has a
book.
tattoo. Don't mess with me. I have a tattoo.
It's so cool. Do me. Do me.
Yeah. Finishing up, the suit of dragon. It's strange how it flapped its wings because it's the sound of like many falling papers at once. As you hear folding the paper, as its body quite literally compacts and folds into a impossibly thin design as it fits in between the books
Damn.
on its nest, essentially.
Once I finish, I'm gonna put the book back where it was supposed to go.
Easy enough. I'm assuming everyone rests if it's his time.
I'm gonna go thumb through more books and try and find more information.
I'll take her to her room, then go to mine.
Finding not much.
Carry her
unfortunately.
The next morning, I will have read pretty much half of this library.
All of you awake. It's a rather big library. It's going to take a bit.
Okay, I'll start with the first row.
Okay.
Only things that are pertinent. I'm not gonna read about botany.
Botany might help
That's a
you.
plant.
Maybe. It's probably okay. I'll skim through it.
Maybe not human anatomy, but botany might help
Well,
you.
I mean, anatomy might help me kill my foes faster, but you know.
That doesn't
So don't skip
apply right now.
All you wake up.
I did mishear you.
Some
and you
more rested than others.
I'm not gonna read Dwarven literature.
Did you say botany or bottoming?
Botany.
I thought you said I'm gonna focus on the top row. I don't have time for
It's up to
bottoming.
you how the night went. All you wake up naturally. Well rested.
Botany makes sense.
Cream and jelly. That's all I got to say.
Yep. Hazel, a little sore in the back.
Yeah.
Sleeping on a desk like this. It's not
I
exactly-
said I put her in her room.
Yeah.
Oh.
He picked me up and carried me.
Okay, he would wake up then.
I'm sleepy.
Does she have a
I'm
tattoo on
walking
her
down the
face?
hallway towards the
She
bathroom.
has
and
ink marks
run
all
into
over
sun
his
in.
face, yeah.
It's not a tattoo.
It's actually
Cream
quite.
and jelly.
It's quite
Artsy.
Keep that in mind.
artsy, as it's actually not an entire face. It's actually a scroll that goes from the front part of your cheek and all the way up. That goes to a singular point to the brow.
Did you get a tattoo?
You get that tattoo.
That's what I mean.
There's like-
She's got a
there's like
tattoo.
The
markers.
pseudo dragon right
Tattooed
on
her.
my face.
Well, what's
It's
the
not a tattoo. Tattoo implies permanent.
I'm over here just like
Better than
whatever,
Terminator
man,
penis.
that's a bit-
There's a paper pseudo dragon. In
I went to bed around the time that you.
Oh, I'm going back to the bedroom. Thanks. Have fun.
Whipped cream and jelly. I would never think of it.
Sweet, very sweet.
Before we continue, Barry,
Oh.
How'd you do on
Oh,
this?
fuck.
No, we already have one person dying.
Yes.
in the middle of the night when you were going through your meditations, you only need 4. But you wake up in the middle of it, on your back, with phlegm on your chest. Heavy, burdensome, nothing new. And then it starts to get heavier. Phlegm gets heavier.
Oh no, you've been eating a lot lately.
As you try to move them, you get it maybe about an inch before it goes back on your chest as it gets heavier and heavier.
This is how I died in your thing.
Jesus. As
Oh shit.
A
it is.
rock
it begins
fell on
to
him.
collapse your chest and force the air out of your lungs. As it gets heavier and heavier, as your heartbeat starts to pick up with uncertainty and fright, even as phlegm begins to collapse your chest. As all the air with each short breath of trying to get more air out, but every time you exhale, it sinks further and further and further until there's no air left. As your lungs burn and scream for oxygen, as your vision starts to blur and darken from the corners, forced to a tunnel, to a singular point of the ceiling, before darkness. Lungs still burning. Your eyes wake up. No, sorry, your eyes open with the sound of your heartbeat in your ears. Your lungs still desperate for air, but the pain has subsided. I have to keep to this now. Still unable to breathe, with the still a very unpleasant burning fire that burns from your lungs in your chest that threatens to overtake you. The pain subsides and moves. Peering into the darkness, you have a bit of a nostalgic moment. As you find yourself sitting in the sand cave pit, a small cavern with all walls of natural cave and the natural darkness, with nothing but sand at the bottom, surrounded by child toys made from sand, making sand castles, adorned with natural metals of precious materials, gems and crystals alike, making small child toys that you slightly remember. And the nostalgia hits you as you look over the cave child writing and arts all on the wall, scribbled and marked, as a very slight hint using your natural born half of an eyes, able to peer into the darkness, you look up, seeing the slight glow of the natural veins of a lot of different precious metal materials and gems that are gently glowing, making a strange, unusual night sky. Looking around, you don't get much. You start to remember a little bit, spending more time, seeing the various versions of Flan and his family. Still hearing the not hearing anything else as your heartbeat is filling your ears, and then feeling that it's more than your ears as you feel the vibrations of the floor as the entire cave front on one side cracks and breaks and opens up as the sand spills out to the new areas. You along with it, you spill out to the floor, finding yourself in a now massive, expansive cavern as a leg of colossal proportions breaks free from the wall, still having the child art on it, making a giant thud. No sound, just feeling the vibrations of this colossal leg hitting the floor after moving. As you now see a titanic titan of earth, like a crab of a body, but slightly longer in proportions, with its legs wrapped in chain, as you feel the vibrations of extend out through the earth, feeling the vibrations through its legs and into its body, impossibly massive, bigger than the mountain itself. As you are underneath and gazing up into it, as you see its, as you feel picks, drills, axes, grinding of metal taken from the body of this creature, as you see various leaded crystals going up its leg across its body of pathways of humanoid figures' shadows passing by as this patron, if you've met before, but still nameless, is being mined from all of its precious gems and crystals and gold and platinum and all the materials that make it him or it. Seeing these massive chains around each leg, farther than you can see, surpassing your dark vision, seeing 8 legs before it goes into darkness, holding him into place, along with its adamant as well, as these thick, matted chains hold it into place as it starts to lift up its body before it gets dragged down into play, causing dust to get kicked up with each one as it tries to escape. As you see dark strands of energy pull in, go back up, pull more, and try to pull with each strike before it gathers a massive amount of energy and pulls all the way down into the chains and into the anchor points under the floor that goes deep into the earth, as his body, his leg, upper part of the leg and torso crack. 3 times this happened. And massive building-sized debris fall from it. Crystal, gems, gold, platinum, and wealth beyond measure fall. Again, no sound, but feeling the base hit of a massive size entity hitting the floor of nothing but earth. Dust fills the area, obscuring your vision, seeing shadows of creatures stand from these 3 piles that collapsed from it. One that has a more round exterior and begins to roll off into the distance. Another one that almost looks like a giant earthen hide scorpion goes to another direction. And then you see another colossal scale of massive boulders lifting up and moving in one, going off to another direction. You look up, having your eyes drawn up to the attention as you feel a presence peer into you. you see the head of your patron. The head of terror. As you see its animalistic long head with 100% ruby eyes lit up with intensity and fierce aggression. As it enters your mind, wordless, emotional, but understood, as a singular word echoes through your head. Crush. As your mind is shunted outward, past the cloud of Vimara, over the skies, as you plummet back, go past, and the words echo into your head, the desert of teeth. As you go to the Woodwicky Heights, and then straight through Galdoon, in the very deep chambers of the lava tubes, the main lava tube, where you find the last of the targets before you wake up.
The last of the...
Last of the targets. And you wake up, Flan shunted off to your body as your chest unfolds, essentially, with a mighty thud of Flan hitting next to you.
I pick him up, Tom. I'm getting strong as fast as I can. I'm working on it. I'll get there as soon as I can.
You're in a cold sweat, and your heart's still.
And I have been close
Yep.
for the rest of the night.
All you wake up. Is there anything you would like to do before we end tonight's game?
I'm still sifting through the library.
All right. In that case, what time is it? It is. Oh my God! It's 1. Holy crap!
Yep.
Okay, we will end tonight's game on that note.
Worth it.
Oh boy. Oh my God.
I just found out I'm dying. I found out a whole lot of information.
Well,
I found out you
actually,
have a
I will say
god.
this, because it's just starting to hit 24 hours. Sunny, still in bed with this beautiful, wild woman, you feel a click as the identify spell completes. You are shunted into madness.
For what? Which
For-
stuff?
Identify
Okay.
on the one item that sucked it in. We will start the next game with a vision for you as well.
Okay.
Wait a minute. The identify spell that you got pushed, you tried to identify and it didn't let you?
It got sucked into the item.
Oh.
It just completed. 24 hours later.
Which item was that again? Remind me.
The stone slab.
The stone slab she's working on.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
So, it's 1:07 in the morning. I didn't realize that, so we're going to end it there. So tune back if you want to know that vision, which I also have here.
So I now have 29 more days to live.
Yippee.
30.
The trick is we don't know how many days he's got before he starts going feral.
Oh, I'm
A
sure
month.
we'll find out soon enough.
I'm going to. Yeah.
That's
Well,
basically what's happening at the end of it.
1 to 30 days
It's
to
not just
corruption.
gonna drop
Because-
it, yeah.
The funny thing is, so the reason for this,
Effectively, I have 1 to 30 days before corruption.
you just have to spend a couple of days in Galadon in order to have that vision. And 24 hours since you did the identify, which I had long before planned out, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a vision happy moments.
Vision
Which is funny. And then the bombshell of you're going to die from the man that has no way of changing the
You have 30 days left to live.
Yes.
I say this with. What
Thanks for playing.
So
I say this
that's,
with remorse.
quite literally oh shit, we got a lot of stuff on the plate.
And now we have a time limit.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
So-
didn't have a time limit for
And
a
I
while.
still think we're sitting in a.
I hope you
house.
enjoyed
We
today's.
just don't know.
So I hope you enjoyed part 2, episode 15. I know I did. I hope you guys enjoyed it too.
Yeah. It was
I like the
awesome.
dragon.
You like the dragon?
Some awesome stuff.
Yeah. We're going through a lot of stuff, and you guys are gonna have to start making some So,
Big boy decisions.
oh yeah, big
I would say- I don't
definitely
think
big
you
boy
would-
decisions.
No, man. Literally.
But that's going to be in the next one. So I hope you enjoyed today's game. As I already said again, I hope you join us next time, and we're going to be starting the next game with Sonny's Vision.
Just physically.
A little dip into the madness.
Yay.
But until then, see you next time, everyone. Oh, I forgot to say it last time. It's been 4 weeks.
What?
Until next time, keep on rolling. Bye bye, everyone. I forgot to do that last game.
I think he did it in the last
No, you
one.
didn't.